Hello and welcome to this short overview video which outlines the materials available on the JCT website in relation to Junior Cycle Wood Technology CPD Workshops 2021-2022. As you can see on screen, this starts off with an overview video which you're watching right now. And as we scroll down, we also see other materials which were explored as part of the CPD workshop for 2021-2022. These include a learning log and also presentation itself. In order to find these materials, you simply visit jct.ie, navigate to the Technologies tile, then select CPD Workshops, and finally select Wood Technology from the four options. 2021-2022 material is seen on screen, and to find previous years, you simply look on the pan on the left-hand side. This material is applicable to teachers who may not have been able to attend their subject cluster day in 2021-2022. It may be also beneficial for teachers who are newly qualified or perhaps are returning into the classroom after an absence. And finally, it'll be beneficial for teachers who have attended the workshop but want to revisit the material at a future date. So we'll now take a brief look at what's available. The first thing we see is a learning log. Given that these workshops were delivered online via Zoom, the learning log is uploaded in digital form. And this is what teachers would have used on the day. So it's saved as a PDF document. And to access this document, you simply click the View or Download File button, as I'm going to do right now. You'll now see appearing on screen PDF. And I can scroll down and see the material like so. Contained within the learning log are a number of links. So pictures and text is often hyperlinked. So for example, if you want to access anything, you'll see the cursor changing. That recognizes there's a hyperlink present. The learning log is referred to throughout the presentation, and when teachers were engaging with it, you will see a reference on the slides to indicate this. If we go back to the page we were just on, the next thing I want to bring your attention to is the presentation itself. Now, the cluster workshop had 3 sessions. Teachers experienced these in the morning, middle part of the day, and in the afternoon. For the ease of uploading and for downloading, we've split the presentation into these 3 sessions. You can simply access the sessions by clicking the download button under each of the options. The first part of the presentation we'll take a look at is here. And in this morning session, the teachers focused on the role of assessment in wood technology. So as we scroll down, we'll see the team introduced. Teachers introduced themselves in terms of their context, where they were joining us from a location, and they also informed us if they were teaching particular year groups of wood technology. This gave everybody in the Zoom workshop an idea of who the participants were and helped inform discussions throughout the day. Teachers were given a number of opportunities to reflect throughout the workshop, and wherever the Teaching Council logo here, which is contained within the CUSON framework, is seen on a slide, that's as a recognition that it's a reflection opportunity. So in session 1, as we said, teachers looked at the role of assessment in junior cycle and specifically within wood technology. Opportunity was given to teachers to explore the sample examination paper, which was recently published by the State Examinations Commission. We did this in a large group discussion and also in breakout rooms where teachers looked at specific questions within that sample examination paper. The focus of those discussions was around learning and what learning was being assessed in each case. Teachers paid particular attention to the strands and elements of the wood technology specification and use this planning tool, which is available for download in the learning log, as a guide to steer those conversations. Finally, teachers looked at where the profile of achievement will recognise the final assessments and the language which is used in both classroom-based assessments and the final assessments themselves. That's part one. So now if we look at part two, we can see the blurb here to give us a brief outline. Now we take a quick look at part two. So in part two of the presentation, teachers focused on the role of the SLAR process. Now, this focus took place in the context of exploring classroom-based assessments, particularly classroom-based assessment 1. So again, teachers were given opportunity to explore the documentation that was important, such as the guidelines for classroom-based assessments. They also got an opportunity to explore supports that had been created by the technologies team within JCT around classroom-based assessment 1. And you can see this referred to on the slide. When teachers were exploring the exemplars, which are on curriculum online, they also used the features of quality to guide their discussions and their thoughts. Again, we can see reference on the slides that breakout rooms were used to facilitate a large part of the conversations around the examples. When teachers returned from the breakout rooms, the conversation naturally steered towards the purpose and value of feedback and how feedback could move the learning forward for students. Finally, in the latter part of this session, teachers had a conversation about how students communicate and capture their learning in wood technology. Teachers got an opportunity to see one teacher in action, which was a material which was recorded for a recent webinar, which is available on our website. And finally, teachers shared their own practice and what they're doing in their classrooms in terms of capturing and communicating learning with first, second, and third year students of wood technology. So that was part two. And finally, in the third part, just open it up. And the focus here in the final session of the day was around exploring the creative process. Now, this discussion took place in the context of a larger discussion, which was on the State Examinations Commission project briefs for 2022. So to tee up the conversation, my design journey was outlined to teachers, which was contained within the project briefs document. And there was a discussion which took place around a stimulus video from a furniture designer in County Laois called Alan Murdoch. The material is all available in the learning log if you want to access those videos or you want to find the material to download for yourself. Stimulus questions were posed to teachers in terms of how they encourage creativity in their classroom, and also if they observed anything from Alan's creative process that might influence their own practice. Once this discussion had taken place, we then moved towards looking at the design briefs for 2022 coursework in junior cycle wood technology. So again, similar exercise took place where teachers were given an opportunity to discuss the document in their breakout rooms and consider how the assessment aligned with the teaching and learning in their own classroom. In the latter part of the session, we then explored an existing resource, which was a webinar from a class in Colosh and Nakaraba first year group that explored the craft of bending and lamination and followed a similar design process to that outlined in my design journey. Teachers got an opportunity to revisit this webinar, particularly some of the exemplar material that the students submitted. In the last part of the presentation, we highlighted some existing resources that were available on our website in the resources section for wood technology. These included teaching and learning classroom supports and also some digital supports that had been created over the last years. The day was finished off then with a final discussion in terms of the role of assessment as a continuum of learning and where learning is recognised and appreciated in terms of the profile of achievement for junior cycle. So that's the 3 presentation, folks. As I said, we hope you find the material beneficial. Thank you very much.